Hello everyone. Today I am going to make an old-fashioned dessert, and I'm going to use new technology to do that. So I hope that you find this interesting and that you may want to try this yourself. So today I'm going to make a rice pudding. Now this is something that old-timers like myself would remember. But a lot of young people have never had the opportunity to make this. So today I'm going to use the Instant Pot to make the whole process go quite quickly and easily. So let's get started. The recipe that I use actually would probably prefer maybe a boreal rice or something that's super sticky, but I never buy that specialty rice. What I have on hand is just some Ghia basmati rice that I buy in the bag from the local grocery store, and I don't rinse it. Normally when I cook with this rice, I rinse it first to take away the starch, but for this recipe, I want the starch. Now I'm just going to grab the liner from the pot and I'll get started with the recipe. I just measured out 1 cup of rice. It's just going to go into the empty pot. And I need 1.5 cups of water. Also goes into the pot. And I like raisins in my rice pudding. I usually use golden raisins, but all I have today are Thompson raisins, which are darker. So they're going to go in about 3/4 of a cup. Now you can totally skip this part if you're not a raisin lover. I like to put them in this recipe at this point in time because in the pressure pot then they plump up really, really nice. And so I'm just going to give this a stir. And I'm going to pop it into the pressure pot, and I'll take you over there so that you can see what I need to do here. So now I've slipped the liner into the pressure pot. I just wanted you to be close so you can see there's no magic here. Lid on. Make sure that my steam valve at the back is set to pressure, not release. And then I'm going to go pressure cook for 3 minutes. Just takes a moment to run back there. And then it will start up when once the pressure has built up and the 3 minutes have timed off. I'm going to let it sit on its own until it gets to L10, which means that its 10 minutes have elapsed and it's depressurizing on its own. After that 10 minutes, I'll do a quick release, but I'll come back at that stage and take you along with me. So here we are at the L, and it's counted down 10 minutes. So now I'm just going to release the steam that's in the canner. Do a quick release, or an instant release, some people call it, and wait for the last of the pressure to be out of the pot, and I'll know that's happened when the little pin here at the back has dropped down. It doesn't take very long. Now, as you can see, everything's kind of plumped up and the rice appears to be pretty well cooked. I'm gonna leave it there in the pot, and I am now going to take the pot to saute. 30 minutes automatically comes up, and we won't be using it that long, but that's what comes up. Now, into this pot, I'm going to add 1.5 cups of whole milk and 1/2 cup of sugar, and I'm going to give it a good stir. Which doesn't take very long either. You just want to make sure that everything is incorporated and that the rice has separated. will see if I can get you a little closer here so you can see what's going on in there. Now I'm going to bring this to a bubble, and then I will be back. Now it's starting to boil, so at this point I am going to add the rest of my liquid mixture. I have 2 beaten eggs, a half a cup of milk, and half a teaspoon of vanilla in here. And I'm just going to stir it in, and then I'm going to stir it constantly until I see that it's starting to thicken. Now this will take, a couple minutes, and bear in mind that after it has cooled, it will thicken quite a bit more. Yeah, you can stir this constantly for a little bit. So I think that you can see at this point that there are not a lot of difficult steps in this, and that if you're using the Instant Pot, it goes quite quickly. As I said, you could totally leave the raisins out, or if you don't like your raisins to be plumped up as these ones are, and quite soft, then you could wait and add them in after the mixture has cooked, or you could leave them out altogether. Now, I like to add at this point just a little bit of cinnamon to the mixture, so I'm just going to grab that. Now you want to keep stirring because the Instant Pot gets very, very hot on the bottom when you're in saute mode, and if you don't keep stirring, you're going to end up with everything burned to the bottom of the pot, and that's not what we're after. Now you could also add at the beginning, when you're adding the rice and water and raisins, you could just add a whole cinnamon stick, and then at this stage you could take it out. Now you may have a preference for spices in your rice pudding, but that's ours. I think we're just about there, folks. So it has come back up to a boil. I'm just stirring it down at this point, but it's there, and I think you can see it's thickened quite a bit. So I'm going to cancel this, and then I'm going to move over to the counter once again with. Now it is getting quite thick in the pot as it's cooling. If I were preparing this for company to come, I would probably pour it into this beautiful little fruit dish that is a gift from my grandmother. It came along with the 6 little fruit nappies. And I don't use them often, but I do like to use them for when we have company, and they hold about a 1/3 to 1/2 cup serving. And if you're measuring it in half-cup servings, this recipe could easily make 6 portions. Quite honestly, my husband and I will probably eat this up over the next couple of days, so I will leave it in this pot to cool completely, and then I will cover it in and put it in the refrigerator, and we will take it out in our regular dishes as we eat it up. We enjoy it with a little bit of fresh whipping cream on it that hasn't been whipped, but however you would like to top dress it, that's entirely up to you. So I'm just going to put some out into a little fruit nappy so that you can see how it looks when it's being served up. You can see this is still steaming, so there you go. And there is a quick, old-fashioned dessert that's good for company, that's made with a new technology method. I hope you've enjoyed this, and that if you have, you will give the video a like and share it with your friends. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, it'd be fabulous if you did. It would really help me out. Until next time, I hope that you are all well, and I will see you again soon.